Hello, hello, Heal Squad. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you are in this beautiful, crazy world. I am here in Cali enjoying the warmer temperatures. Patty is also here with me. She's actually in my heal room right now.
It's amazing. I've never been in your heal room. And let me just say, I already feel healing and I haven't turned anything on.
I love it. Well, I designed it for our guests to be able to come participate, which you guys are always welcome to participate in there. We've got the cold plunge from Plunge. We've got the sunlight and sauna, the red light from EMR Tech. We've got all kinds of things, the trampoline from Lauren Ruxbra. So we've got like a whole thing in there. You're always welcome to use it.
Well, great. I will take you up on that for sure.
And I will tell the audience that's listening right now, our fellow Heal Squatters, that I am staring right above my camera at my daughter. She is eating outside in the sunlight right now and getting that beautiful vitamin D on her skin as she eats. And I am loving this sight. She is the CEO of her health, guys. So today we are going to talk about a couple of things that I've been really excited to share with everybody. So one was a new breakthrough that I had about how I got my mojo back. So I thought I got my mojo back because of my organization at the end of the year. I also think that there is something to be said. I'm pulling up my notes because I wrote notes in the car last night. I also think there's something to be said for like rising from the ashes, and there's been a lot of that. So I didn't take into account one of the biggest things. And it goes back to what we've been learning on the show, whether it was Dr. Jack Cruz or Dr. Allison, about how you cannot heal in the environment that got you sick. And when people would say that, even people I trusted and respected, it was still hard to understand it. But now that I've lived it, I get it. And I now am realizing, Patty, that my nervous system in LA was so heightened and afraid and on edge and just not okay. And I knew this because I know when I went to the Dominican Republic on my healing retreats, I felt so safe where we were staying. And I was like, this is the first time I can roam free on a property and feel safe. I don't think anything's going to happen here. I'm not worried. And that contributed to my very, very quick healing. And if you guys are new to Heal Squad, I went to the Dominican Republic based on Dr. Jack Cruz yelling at me and telling me I wasn't going to live if I didn't go down there.
He's so blunt. So blunt.
I love blunt because you just get right to the point. And so I went and I did a little experiment based on everything I had been learning from him and Dr. Allison about the power of circadian rhythm and the sun and all of that. And I shrunk liver tumors in a matter of 2.5 weeks. So that is, again, a testament to you can't heal in the place that you got sick. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't do any healing while I was in LA, because I did pinpoint the fact that my ANA went negative when I was in LA. That's a big deal. That's your ANA is the like total immune system picture. So when that went negative, I was like, wow, it went positive again. It's fine. We'll get back there. But I realized as I was driving to see a friend last night for a meeting that I did not take into account that for the last 7 months, I've primarily been in Connecticut, and I have no fears there other than the mountain lion that loves to roam the property. And I have been in clean air, clean water, no Wi-Fi, other than there's only one 5G tower in our area because we're in a very rural place. And the more densely populated a neighborhood is, the more Wi-Fi, more 5G. So all of that contributed to a very good environment for my body and my mind and my spirit, because I was with family, and my soul because I had, our little church down the street. And it just was very, very good for me. And I think that's what helped me to recharge to a level where I was ready to start doing things. Because before, when your nervous system is so overwhelmed and you're exhausted, and anybody who brings anything to you, like, no, 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 I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't do anymore. I can't do anymore. And Kevin didn't understand when I would say no to everything. And now I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I have energy. Yes, I can do things. Now, doesn't mean that I don't have my moments of no energy. Like the other day, I needed 4 coffees because I could not get it up, guys. But it really did just kind of hit me that this is the reason probably that I feel so recharged. And so I think that was just something I wanted to share because I watched that post on getting my mojo back really resonate with our heel squatters. And I get it because we are all in these environments that are taxing our systems, that are taxing our souls and our hearts. And maybe you don't have a place to flee to yet. You could run your own experiment. You could Airbnb your house and go rent something else somewhere nice that you are excited about. Maybe it's like deep down in Florida where there's, beach and beauty and whatever. I would say go near the equator, but that's just me because of everything that I've learned. But maybe there's a way for you to run your own experiment and see how your nervous system relaxes. And maybe it's just being away from your toxic family or a toxic friend or a toxic job. However you can run this experiment, I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah. And it doesn't have, like you said, you don't have to flee somewhere where it's, maybe it doesn't have to be the Dominican, but it can be those little getaways where it recharges. Like I had a really hard day like last week on a Friday, and of course, it was my children that spark always the stress anxiety in me when something doesn't go their way or they're having a
Mhm.
hard day or whatever. And I knew I had to shift my energy. I knew I had to get away from my current environment and switch to another environment that's going to flip my energy and put me in a better mood. And I did. And I did it for myself. I went away to the marina, to the bay, where there's like this pretty park that kind of overlooks it. And I sat there on a park bench and I just sat there and I sat and I just was like just quiet, kind of like meditated a bit. And it really did help when I got back. And it helped through the weekend and it helped through all of that. And I honestly do think that like yeah, like you can get away to somewhere else and really focus on that healing that you need, whether it's short-lived or something that you're working toward in the long run. Like for you,
Yeah.
your liver lesions, or is it something, an autoimmune condition, or maybe your inflammation that you need to just lower the stress and just do something for you?
I love that you knew you needed a shift and that you took yourself to a place that you knew you could.
Yep.
Because, again, sometimes we're limited with our options. You can't just say, oh, I'm coming apart at the seams. Kids, I'm out of here.
Yes.
You just can't sometimes. And I totally get that and respect that. But there are micro ways to do these things. And I remember when I was learning how to shift, when I noticed the kettle started running hot and I was like, "Ugh," I wanted to burst, I would just take 5 or 10 minutes and I would go over somewhere to like nature and just take my phone away and just sit and just let everything calm down. Just let it all relax. And it always works. But I used to, when that would happen, just double down more and get angry and just push through, and it doesn't work. And then I've since in all of these years learned so much about myself and started making adjustments. Like I know I don't do well when I'm overscheduled. And even like sometimes I have such mom guilt that I'm not doing enough, I'm not there enough or whatever. And so to cure that, sometimes that means I'm going to do less in a day. So I was like, the other day I had done a bunch of things. I front loaded my day really heavy, and it was like 2:30 or 3:30, and I was like, that's it. I'm closing it down, and I'm just going to play with Athena the rest of the day, and I'm going to enjoy her. And sometimes, that's just the answer. Whatever is going to make you feel better, because I always say to everybody, you don't know what's around the corner. So just really try to keep that in mind and do what's right for you and your family and in your life. And that time, everything will work itself out. It always does.
Yeah. You have the power to choose it. Like you take that power back when you choose that notion or that point where, like you said, that you feel that the kettle runs hot and you're like, well, no, I'm going to do something for this. I have the power to choose it. I'm not going to let it run me. Like what we said the last, like I think it was on the last chat. Like, don't let your day run you. You run the day. So you have the power to choose what you want to do, how you want to react, how you want to feel,
Hmm.
and all of those things. So, well, that's great. I love that.
Yeah. And I also think this is like a whole other topic, but um, I don't think that anything has to look the same as anyone else in any way. Like, you're going to go through things in life, and I am realizing even now that there's no one set way to go through anything, whether it's trauma, loss of a friendship, whatever it is. There's not one way that you have to deal with this. The one way I do think actually there is what's right for you. What can you sleep with at night? What can you carry all day in your day to day? And so for me, what I've been also doing is just like a lot of forgiving, a lot of empathy, and just realizing that nobody's perfect. Some people are really not perfect. And how do I want to feel at the end of the day? Is this going to serve me to go to this extreme or to go to that extreme or to handle it in the way that everyone says you're supposed to handle it? Everything doesn't have to be the same. I mean, it just, you just do what's right for you and what's going to make you feel good. And, if your kettle's running hot and for you, it's going to mean just taking an hour and just going to like one of those cheap massage places and having them rub your feet. Whatever it is, guys, go do it. Go to the park, sit on that bench. There's really nothing better than being in nature, but I think that is a really big deal. I think we need to really look at how much our environment is dictating our health in every capacity. And like I said, it could be toxic family members, toxic friends, toxic relationships. It could be toxic air, toxic water. Um, what are you dealing with? And let's see, how can we change your environment more than not?
Yeah. Do you, I had, do you, I was going to ask a question. Do you ever do like those vision boards? Because I haven't done mine and I don't know if like that's something that I need to do to get me to be thinking more about like changing up the environment or what I want to do differently within the year.
I love vision boards. I didn't do one this year. I just created the feelings that I wanted to feel this year and I put that up on the cork board. So it's like I want to feel limitless. I want to feel creative, and those were kind of like the themes, and I just kind of went with that this year because I think if I look at last year's dream board, a lot of the things really carry over. I mean, let's just look at it for fun, right? I have it saved on my phone wallpaper. If I just scroll back fast enough, I can see what happened. Because actually, a lot of times we do these and we never reflect to see, like, did that happen? Did that happen? I don't know.
Well,
So,
I always do like I always do like a list of things that I want to do or go or help, whatever can help me in my health journey or whatever it is. But I always make a list and then I just sometimes like forget to go back to it. even if it's like a month in. Because what we're about 3 weeks into January, and I still feel like I don't know. I could still work on that list, which I think I can.
Well, when I look at mine, I see miraculous healing, which I've had a lot of that. I see holiday movie fund, which we've been building. I see health retreat. Oop, we did that. I see, let's see, let me look at the other page. Um, it's kind of hard to read this. Happy, healthy family, got that.
All right.
But there are some on here that have not happened yet that will just carry over to this year. And for me, I just felt like it was more important to, for me, organize my life and then organize the things I wanted to do rather than on a dream board, on a board where I could see it every day and say, okay, this is what I'm actively working towards. But I have always believed in dream boards. I think that or vision boards. I think that they're very successful. Hi, my angel. Mommy's just taping a show. I love you. Mwah.
What would be, ooh, I have a question for you. What would be on Athena's dream board at 2 years old? What do you think?
Well, she got everything for Christmas. She really wanted a Spider-Man car and crayons. We told 3 different Santas that that was what she wanted, and she got that. But she just loves to play with her toys. She's like, "Mommy, will you play with my toys?" I'm like, "Yes, my angels will sit." And yeah, no, she's incredible. It's the greatest gift. But I think it's a really big thing that we don't really focus on. And like I said, myself included, when I had heard this whole thing about your environment, I didn't really understand it. And now I see, holy moly, extract yourself from your environment and your health does change radically. But just not even just your physical health, like my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, all of that really changed. So I think it's a combination of things. Like 100% organization was such a huge issue for me. And I needed to sit down and create new systems. And then these systems will eventually not be good. And I'll have to move on and do new systems. It's like my travel systems, guys. Holy moly, every day it's a new travel system. But I'm also part of my projects this year. Let's just give a sneak peek since I'm talking about it. I am designing and creating my own travel pieces that I desperately want and need. And usually that's an indication that someone else might need it too. So I will be coming out with some stuff this year. And I'm not looking to become rich. I'm just looking to make something I love. And if you guys want them, and you can have them too. But I'm always trying to come up with new systems. And you know, when you've gone through a lot of things back to back, you don't address those things. And I haven't addressed them in a decade. And so that was a big part of getting my mojo back. But I'm really realizing that the farm life, here's what was great about the farm life. Not only did we have clean air, very, very little, Wi-Fi stuff and really clean well water. I had church, I had community for the first time. Every Sunday we were going to church. I would go to church every other Sunday here, but it was so far away. It was almost an hour away. And it's different because you don't really know everybody there. But like back home, my family's there. So I had family, I had community. We started creating our Wednesday night happy hours and we would get together and have wine and oysters. And that was so much fun. And then the other thing is life wasn't frenetic. I wasn't being asked to go to 1,000 different events, which sounds, can sound a certain way, but when you've done this for so long, you really do crave the opposite. You crave normalcy. You crave like home. And astrologically, if you look at me, I am home and family. Like it explodes off my chart. I'm also a communicator, and clearly this is why I was supposed to do this, but I was home a lot. And if I wasn't home, I was going to like a blueberry farm or doing something so wholesome and just good food for my soul. So you're like, oh, no wonder I feel so good. My shoulders, guys, I'm even just feeling it right now. Hi, Bobo, my little boy. Come here, little guy. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Fodosito, come here. My shoulders are calm. I'm not clenching my fists. Yeah, I'm just in such a like better place.
So
But
how, well, I have a question then. How are you gonna, because you just said that like you found your mojo when you were back on the East Coast and now you know what's working. But now we've come back almost to a place where you potentially lost it. So what are your tips or what will you do to sustain it to make sure that it doesn't get lost in this moment in time?
here's my best answer. I have no freaking clue. I am a walking experiment. It was funny because Kevin the other day goes, Maria's amazing at this because she's such a guinea pig. And I go, oh, yeah, you're right. I am a guinea pig. I do experiment on myself a lot, in safe ways and with safe things, guys. But my thing is I don't know the answer to that. All I know is I was kind of my body was screaming and dying at the end back there because it was so cold. And the perimenopause hot flashes, everything was awful. And here I'm doing great. And that's because I am getting sun. Now, it's a seesaw effect because there's so many. I mean, the black soot on my chairs outside that we wiped off. I'm like, guys, we breathe this. This is horrible. My water is disgusting. I can taste it. And even through my filters, I can taste it. So I'm like, oh, I don't know how long this is going to last. And yes, because I've been away from my friends for so long, I'm going to meet people. And instead of doing a Zoom meeting, I'm going to see somebody in person. So I'm moving around a little bit more. So I don't know, but I know it's a limited time and I will be back there and I will be back in my vibe again. Um, but I think it's all an experiment. Like for example, I have my mojo back. I feel great, right? The other day, I felt like absolute dog shit. I woke up, I was so puffy. If I show you guys these pictures, I hope I still have them. I think I might have deleted them because I was even afraid. Um, I looked like a monster. I was so I go, wait, how do I look 100 years old right now and puffy? And I don't know what it was, but as you guys are about to hear, we had a really incredible interview with Dr. Josh Red. He is an inflammation expert. He wrote the 30-Day Reset diet book, has clinics for autoimmune diseases. He talked about inflammation being tied to glucose and high glucose rates. And I was like, oh my God, I've been making this connection between my high blood sugars and perimenopause hot flashes, but then also headaches and exhaustion and so many things. And so, like one day I was amazing, and then the next day I was shit, and then I woke up today and I was amazing again. Who knows what the heck is happening, guys? But I'm doing all the things I'm trying, but I'm also doing it in a different way now where I'm not stressing about it. Like sometimes I go to bed and I have all these vitamins to take. I'm like, I can't do them all. I'm just going to do the important ones. And then tomorrow's another day. So I just do the best that I can. But I am experimenting in so many ways with so many things. And I'm really paying very close attention and being very present so that I can see what works and what doesn't, not just for myself, for all of us. Um, and, the experiment will continue. We'll see because I did blood work before I left Connecticut just to see the difference. And I think my blood work before Connecticut might be really bad because I know my blood sugar levels were not being good. And so we'll see how it show what it shows, but it's very interesting.
But you said something that was really like you're not going to stress as much about things. And I think that, gosh, stress plays so well into inflammation, like it
Mhm.
just does. And I think that, like, maybe that's a way that you sustain your mojo, is that you're not going to stress about things and you're going to balance it. And you know that like staying out here, it might be temporary for now, but you're going to go back to the place where you feel better and all of that. And it's just, and you're balancing it out here. But like I think like that's a really good takeaway too, is like let's not stress the small or big stuff. Like somebody, well, not somebody. I always say like God has it in his hands where he's going to work it out for all of us, And I'm a big spiritual
my favorite
person.
song. If you guys hear, this song is my ringtone, and I highly, highly recommend it. And we'll go out with this. This is the song. In the meantime, friends, be nice people, make good choices, and be present. This is my favorite. It's called God Will Work It Out. And it's by Maverick City Music. This is my alarm for every alarm. Because I have to remind myself God's going to work it out.
Before I knew my name, before I drew a breath, he was making ways for me.
Yes, he was.
Now and every day, in each and every step, he is making ways for me. When my heart is full of doubt, feels like faith is running out, I've come too far to turn around. I know God will work it out. God will
You're gonna cry? Isn't it so beautiful?
God will work it out.
That's it, guys. It always works out. God will work it out. Love you all. Hey, Heal Squad. We have been on quite the journey together, and we're hearing from so many of you just how much this show is helping you heal and get better, and it makes us feel so good. We love, love, love it, and we just ask that you don't keep it to yourself. Spread the message and share the show or your favorite episode with your friends. And if you want to help us even more, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a comment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at Heal Squad. You can also DM us anytime because we love connecting with you. And finally, you can also join us on Patreon for our monthly live heal events with world-class healers and ad-free episodes exclusive only to Patreon and our Super Heal Squad for as little as $10 a month. So go to patreon.com/Heal Squad to join. Getting better isn't easy, friends, but as I say all the time, it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. We love you all so much, and we love doing this thing called life with you.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.